Hi there. Good evening. Here we go, one more time. Okay. Sure. What is this? Okay, good, very good. All right. I almost know what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to plunge ahead here um, and say good evening, everyone, and welcome to my Spirit Talk video project for the 24th of October, 2016. There's Dennis, yeah. You're well, I hope, my friend. Yeah, recovered from your excitement. And Anne and Jody and Bennett, Jean, very good. So, good to have you all. Yeah, I'm trying to get back in the groove with doing these more frequently. I was stunned and amazed to see that there were 250 of us listening to my little self there. Beard needs a trim. Saturday night. And that was amazing. That was the highest number I've had so far, so I'm grateful for that. I managed to use the incorrect music one more time, so in the trash it goes. Thank you, Facebook. I've learned my lesson once again. Um, I want to talk about a few things tonight here with you, and make this worth our time. Um, I've got some Bashar here to play for you and to talk about. Saturday night, I mentioned Terence McKenna, who's a definite voice to know about, and encourage you to look more at what Terence has to say about freedom and consciousness and awakening and all of that. I'll play a little Terence here for you. Um, let's see, I think, move that over. Um, we have Bashar in a conversation. Gosh, we should do, should is a dangerous word, LouMartin, yes. Let me do divine government. Let me brace myself one more time for divine government. Over the weekend, I happened to see, I follow Claudia, Cabin Talk lady, Claudia Stauber, and she okay, uh, where's a good spot? Let's try this, yeah? We'll pray to the Wi-Fi gods. Um, I want to do the Patricia Cota Robles, um, prayer for divine government. And I was just saying, I follow Claudia Stauber. She had some talks, which I was just looking for. I haven't found yet. One is by Lee Campbell, a guy who does. There's Annabelle. Hi, dear. A guy who does a show on RT on Russia Today called Redacted Tonight. He's very funny. Yeah, swears like a sailor, but has some good points to make and some great information. Um, so we'll get into that, but let me start here with our buddy Bashar. Yeah, and also talk about the law of one. Arancha and I have gotten a bit more into the law of one. Carla Ruckert and Ra and all that good stuff. I put up a 20-minute um, excerpt from the law of one yesterday, I think it was. So that's good to know about. There's Jillian, Becky, hi, Stephen, good to have you. Yeah. So we're going to build our little consciousness here, and we'll raise it all up, and we'll do a meditation, prayer, yeah, magical working by the end of it. So thank you all for being here. It's great to have you. Um, so I'm going to try to talk about this fuzzy thing we call ascension as well. Yeah. Um, Let me start with Bashar, um, who I know more about, and then I'll play some Bashar, some Carla Ruckert, some Terence McKenna, and we'll see where we go to from there. Bashar is a multidimensional being, a friend from the future. I'm going to play We Are from the Future again. I played that Saturday, but I want to record that so that I can share that with people. Bashar is a multidimensional being, a friend from the future, who has spoken for the past 33 years through channel Darryl Anka, bringing through a wave of new information that clearly explains in detail how the universe works and how each person creates the reality they experience. Over the years, thousands of individuals have had the opportunity to apply these principles and see if they really work to change their lives and create the reality that they desire. Overwhelmingly, the response we receive is, "This works." Some of the feedback our listeners have shared include enhanced creativity and abundance, mental and emotional clarity, improved health, enhanced love relationships, expanded psychic ability, increased self-love and self-acceptance, greater self-empowerment. Why do these concepts work? Bashar would be the first to say it's because this information is based on the laws of physics and is not just nice New Age philosophy. Perhaps this is a more advanced version of physics than you may have encountered in the past, but nevertheless it is based on physics. Hence, when you apply these principles and techniques to your day-to-day life, you can see dramatic results, both in what you experience and how you feel. And we'll do a Bashar meditation here, as well as I'll play and show you some of Bashar's channeling here. Bashar describes the importance of belief systems and explains how to change what you believe about yourself and your world to dramatically change what you experience in your life. The new perspectives he shares can change the way you view reality and help you to get in touch with the beliefs and ideas that are presently guiding your life so that you can change them if you decide to. Finally here, Bashar's message emphasizes your self-empowerment and your ability to use your conscious, free choice, free will, to create the life and the world that you prefer. So, yeah, Bashar is super positive and super inspiring. He says, ecstasy is your birthright. Bashar's message helps to expand your capacity for learning and change. It reawakens your ability to use your imagination and express yourself creatively so that you can experience the ecstasy that is your birthright. The techniques that are contained in the Bashar material are fun, challenging, and interesting to work with, and Bashar's uniquely humorous and direct approach enhances the entire experience. Okay, so there's that, and let me give you some Bashar here. There was one other Bashar quote I wanted to share with you here about the dimensional shifts, about ascension. Well, let me play this clip first, because I think that'll get us in the mood. Yeah, this is a conversation. It's about 10 minutes, and it's a dialogue between Bashar and this lady who's working on trust issues. And this is something that we all get to deal with over and over again: how to let go of the past, and how to feel safe enough and trusting enough to do that, and how to align with moving into the future. So I want to play this conversation, and I might talk about that a little bit there, and then we'll do a meditation from Bashar as well. So here we go. I'll turn this around. Yeah.
I'm just curious if you can remember back to when your people, your species went through this change that we're going through, how you lived your life at the same time. I'm finding a lot of pain involved in letting go of old concepts.
The only reason you would have pain in letting go of old concepts is you don't believe that you need to let them go. You believe they're serving you still. Remember, you hold on to nothing that you don't actually believe is somehow serving you. No matter how painful they may be to hold on to, what you're actually saying is the alternative is worse.
How do I get to the bottom of how it's serving me?
Very good question. And here's how you can do it, at least one way. The idea is to understand what we have called the motivational mechanism. Again, please understand, this is automatic for everyone. There is absolutely nothing you really need to do to make this work. It's already working. You just have have to allow yourself to understand how it works so that you can use it in a way that you prefer to, instead of using the mechanism in a way that you don't prefer. You follow me so far?
Yes.
All right. The motivational mechanism is simply this. And I mean there are no exceptions to this. Not even you. You follow me?
Yes.
All right. You will always, immediately, automatically move in the direction of what you believe to be in your best interest. You will always, immediately and automatically move away from what you believe is not in your best interest. Knowing that, that should tell you something. If you are holding on to something that you know intellectually is not in your best interests, and you understand the motivational mechanism I just described, the only way that that could stick around is if you have defined it in the motivational mechanism as actually being in your best interest more than the alternative. Or vice versa, you have defined the thing that you say you prefer as actually somehow being more scary, more fearful than the thing you don't prefer. And so you're so afraid of the thing you do prefer for some reason, based on some belief you're holding on to, that you're willing to put up with the pain and struggle of the thing you don't prefer just because it's more familiar. Just because it feels safer, because you're so much more scared of the thing you don't know about.
And
Does this make some sense?
oh yeah, I've heard this many
All right.
times from you, but how
But
do
it's not sinking in.
I can't figure it out. How do I move forward? I want to move forward so bad.
Well, you have to find out what it is you're holding on to. You've heard us give the example of the idea of how people on your planet are raised with different definitions of money.
Yes.
Can you apply that idea to yourself at all about the contradictory beliefs that you are raised with that create conflict within you until such time as you actually consciously identify those beliefs? Because only by consciously identifying them can you let them go. If you don't know what they are, you have nothing to work with.
I know what my beliefs are. I guess I feel like I'm swimming upstream. Like
I don't care what you feel like.
like my
I
ego's
understand what you feel like. But again, remember, the feeling only comes because you believe something to be true. You can't have a feeling without believing something to be true first. So if you have a feeling you're swimming upstream, you have got to be defining something in your life in that way. You yourself said it a moment ago. Easier said than done. These are just belief systems. They're not empirical truths. There is absolutely nothing about the phrase easier said than done that is an absolute law of creation. It's you that is giving it solidity by believing in that idea. You're the one giving it form. You're the one giving it shape for some reason. Find out what the reason is why you are buying into those kinds of limiting ideas that produce struggle, strife, pain. Remember, pain is resistance to the natural self. So what is it about being your true natural self? What is it about the thing you prefer to be that is so much scarier than what you're already holding on to that you don't prefer? What would be the worst, most terrifying thing you can imagine would happen if you actually let go of all of these fears and negative definitions and actually allowed yourself to be who you prefer to be? What would be the scariest thing that you imagine might happen if you did that?
I wouldn't know who I am anymore. Because
Now, all right, very good.
Yeah.
Now, why would you assume that to be true?
Because I define myself from my experiences and all the people around me, and if I move on to a whole different belief system,
Yes.
I'll kind of be out there by myself.
Well, may I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Haven't you ever moved from one belief system to another ever in your life?
Yes.
Well, was that a problem for you?
Well, it was, but when I got there, I was okay.
So what makes you think it's not going to be okay again? How many examples of doing that do you need before you get the point that it's always okay?
Okay.
How many times do you have to give yourself that symbol, that reflection, before you know it will actually always be okay? How many times? It's up to you. I'm not pushing you. How many times have you already done it?
Innumerable, and it's been very painful. So maybe I'm getting from you, if I just kind of let go with it, the pain will kind of go away too.
It will not kind of go away.
It will.
It won't exist in the reality of the person that you actually prefer to be, because by definition, that person doesn't experience pain and struggle and resistance. You see, you have to watch your definitions. You have a definition that says, if I become who I prefer to be, there's something about that that's going to be painful. But if you actually listen to what you just said, you would realize that that's nonsensical. How could becoming who you prefer to be contain a definition of being something that is not what you prefer?
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Your definitions are muddled. That's where you're having the difficulty. You're not listening to the definitions you're actually using to define who it is you prefer. You're creating your own contradictory definitions about who that person is. If that really is the you prefer to be, it cannot, by definition, contain the elements of negativity that you're describing. Otherwise, it can't be that you. It wouldn't be that you. It would make no sense.
Okay, you're still there. That's a relief. I never know. All right, he's brilliant. He's amazing. I've gotten to see him many times, yeah, and he's the real deal. So Bashar is definitely a great one to know about. I don't know how long it froze for. Apologies. I'll put this on my page anyway. But there's great energy, there's great consciousness, and there's great clarity in what Bashar has to say. I still want to find this lovely quote that I had here. Carla Ruckert, let me just shift gears. Oh, here it is. Okay. This is also Bashar, yeah? Thank you, Naomi, yeah? And Laura, good to have you. Here's another quote from Bashar. We can start to talk about ascension. Recognize that the so-called process of elevating yourselves from plane to plane, from dimension to dimension, is actually as follows. When you accelerate and increase your vibratory frequency and raise your vibration to another state of awareness, another plane of existence, what you are doing is recognizing that you actually become the dimension that you previously thought you existed in. Now, if that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what would. In other words, this is what Lazarus talks about, my teacher as well, that it's like, the analogy of our evolving consciousness moving through lifetimes and dimensions and worlds and experiences is basically like the, graduating from kindergarten to college. You don't lose what you leave behind because it becomes a part of you, but you build upon it. You see the same idea. So I like that. What is that video called? I'll post it on my page. I want to come back to that because there was so much there that in my sessions with people, in classes and whatnot, these themes come up over and over again. Where are we here? It's called Swimming Upstream, Bashar Archives, Swimming Upstream, bashar.org, on YouTube. And basically, that we work a lot with the inner child. We work a lot with the unconscious mind. Me and my guides here, we work a lot with, compassion, forgiveness, mercy, opening the heart. Yes. What Bashar is so good at, and why I wanted to bring him to your attention, if you're not familiar with him already, is, he's really clear. He's really focused. He's really able to say, as he just did, you're carrying a limited belief system. You're contradicting yourself. You're not being clear. The clearer we can be, obviously, in our intention, in our communication, in our visualizations, all of those things. This is the divine masculine will. This is what the mind and the will are really good for. The feminine is great for integrating and unifying and balancing. The masculine is needed to assert, to express, to focus, to hold the focus, to sustain the focus, this kind of thing, the mind gets very muddled and very confused and frightened. And of course, thank you, for taking time out of your busy lives here to hear what I have to say, both now and in the future. There is definitely, this collective call, on the part of consciousness, on the part of, people like ourselves that are interested, hungry and thirsty after wisdom and knowledge, inspiration, resources, spiritual freedom, empowerment, enlightenment, all these great ideas. So, when we come together in this way, we talk about these things, we meditate, we pray, etc., etc., we're feeding the morphogenetic field, right? I started to talk a little bit about Rupert Sheldrake on Saturday, and how Rupert Sheldrake wrote some great books. The Scientific Revolutions, I think, was one of his way back in the day, and his TED Talk was banned because basically what Sheldrake said was that, science, like religion and government, this is me beating my little drum here for a moment, pretends to be objective and dispassionate and, on the moral high ground. But of course, what you learn when you study the history of any human structure is there's always an agenda, and the people that fund and set the tone for any group, any philosophy, are controlling the agenda. So, this is, as my guides say, once again, this is the clash of the paradigms, the time that we're living in now. And when people, when you look at the culture that we live in, this was the McKenna that I wanted to play a little bit of here, and I'll do that here in a moment. McKenna's great because he was a genius, in my opinion, Terence McKenna, and he did many experiences and experiments with hallucinogens. He's passed on now, but between his own natural genius and the openness of his mind, he was really able to step back and look at the big picture here. So let me just throw a little Terence McKenna into the mix for you, and I hope that the picture will hold here. Here we go.
As we begin to explore the alien Niagaras of beauty that pour through your consciousness under the influence of some of these substances, we are going to discover that we are not what we thought we were. The monkey flesh is penetrated by something, dare I say it, divine, or at least alien, transplanetary, and beyond the power of human comprehension. I don't know if we're talking about God Almighty here. I don't know if we're talking about the God who hung the stars like lamps in heaven, as Milton says. That seems a tall order. Maybe what we're talking about is the God of biology. Something has happened to this planet. It has become infected with an informational, call it virus, call it force, call it being, that is using matter, and yes, using our flesh and our thoughts to bootstrap itself to higher and higher levels. And now the prosthesis of machinery and the possibility of an artificial intelligence raises the real option of producing, of actually midwifing the birth of an entirely new, not species, but order of biological and intelligence in existence. The human-machine symbiote is upon us. I mean, it's been with us for a while, since the first wheel was carved, since the first stick was sharpened. But that was all very simple stuff. Now it's clear that we are in partnership with an other mind, which comes to us through our machineries and through the biosphere. Wherever we press beyond the thin curtain of rationalist culture, we discover the incredibly rich, erotic, scary, promising presence of this intelligent other, which beckons us out of history and says, the galaxy lies waiting. A galaxy of galaxies lie waiting. Lose the encumbrances of three-dimensional space. Return with the word to its higher and hidden source. And at that point, you will discover the alchemical paraclete will be given unto you.
Okay. Again, just a little sample there. You can check out the whole video and Terrence's stuff on your own when I'm not holding the phone up to the laptop. But yeah, Terrence has great energy, and he's a genius with the language and the consciousness of all of it. What I want to do, my passion is to feed you ideas and inspire you to do more research and to think for yourself and to come to your own conclusions here. But certainly to get inspired and excited. Yeah. Let's see. I've got a meditation here from Bashar. How we doing? We're doing good here. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Find your way. So let me talk about Carla Ruckert here for a second and the Law of One. That's the other thing that I've been looking at, as I said, this week. And so Carla Ruckert was the channel for Ra, and Ra is this collective consciousness, and the Law of One. I think there's 4 or 5 volumes of this, but they're quite detailed about ascension and dimensional shifts and consciousness, and it's very unambiguous. We're climbing a set of stairs. We're climbing the ladder. We're definitely moving in a direction of being less aware towards a direction of becoming more aware. Yeah, and the whole thing, of ascension, and what I want to focus on tonight is consciousness itself. And so, again, I'm just giving you little twirls of the Rubik's Cube here. But, that we are consciousness, obviously, and we also have access to consciousness. And I say again, we're at the end of these, the end of an old paradigm, the beginning of a new paradigm. There's Brenda. And, want to come back to the grounding of love versus fear. If we're Bashar is a big fan of excitement, my guides and I are huge fans of inspiration, and of course Abraham talks about the basis of life is freedom, the purpose of life is joy. My teacher Lazarus talks about you have 2 focuses here. One is to learn to have fun, and the other is to consciously create success. So you hear this theme over and over again from all the enlightened masters of this time, that we're really here to cheer up. We're really here to let go of the struggle. It's great news, yeah. We're really here to take ourselves lightly, and the challenge, of course, the great paradox is the drama is always knocking on the door. So here's let me give you a few minutes of Carla Ruckert, who channeled the Law of One. I'll give her a couple minutes here. Here we go.
We want to conform. We want to adapt. We want to be normal. We want to belong. And so we grow up doing our best to fit in and adapt. And, of course, some of us can't do that. A lot of the people that are wanderers, a lot of the people that the raw material speaks to, never were able to adapt a moment in their whole lives. And so they were always on the outside looking in and never felt at all comfortable with the crowd. But there was that wish that it could be easy, that we could fit in. And you see, all of this is talking about the surface of life. we're taught to skate across the pond, or say even the ocean of life, like a water bug, never breaking the surface. It's just floating on the meniscus, floating on the buzz, and on what's in, and how to adapt and how to belong. So when you attempt to see the world as a hall of mirrors, and to get the world to speak to you in a way that indicates that you're a responsible human being that is attentive to the present moment and that is really attempting to work life like the game it is, to go not just a little below the surface, but deeply below the surface, so that you can move into finding out who you really are. You're going against all the intuitions that you've been taught since childhood. And a lot of people get stuck right there. It's just like, I can't do this. I don't see it. Most of all, once we have decided that we are going to adapt, we play a role. We wear a mask. We're the good person. We always do the right thing. We've got rules. We can show them to you. It's the Ten Commandments. It's the rules of society. It's the rules in the Constitution. It's the rule of law. It's rules, rules, rules. And, you just list one thing after another, and that's who you are. You're the good person. Well, we're all things. The law of one says we are all things, all feelings, all emotions. We are everything that there is, because there is only one thing, and that is the Creator. We're all part of the Creator. And that's true. You see, we have a brain with our head. We have a brain with our heart. The brain in our head is called the brain. The brain in our heart tends to be called things like intuition or mysticism or something like that. But actually, I like to call it the biocomputer brain and consciousness. Now, each of our biocomputers is different. Consciousness is one. So basically, we're trying to make the difference between the head and the heart, which is maybe 12 to 14 inches if you measure it down our faces and across our necks. Well, it's the longest distance in our lives. When we get into the consciousness of the heart, we realize that we are all one and that we are all Creator. We are very young co-creators. We don't really know how to go on yet. But that's who we are. That's our identity.
Okay. So there's lovely Carla. Yeah, so that's a nice simple video. Yeah. Very good. So consciousness, creators, conscious creating, yeah, bringing things together. Yeah. Finding and following our hearts, knowing the inspiration, learning to listen to, trust, and follow our inspiration, knowing that inspiration is the voice of our spirit, to act from inspiration and not desperation, as my guides say, to come back to peace, to go into peace as often and as deeply as possible, I was saying Saturday night, I was so delighted, honestly, last week when Bob Dylan won the Nobel Prize for Literature, even if he's chosen to ignore it entirely, which is his style utterly. But it's a sign of the shift, to my mind, a little one, but a hopeful one, that creativity and inspiration and compassion, what a great force for spirit. What a great spirit he's been, expressing throughout this lifetime, 50 years of songwriting, if not more. And, his words and his music have fired, the inspiration to me and millions of other people over and over again. So it's great to see him get some acknowledgement and recognition for that in a really respectful and honorable way. So what I want to say here, coming down the home stretch, is, we all have these inspirations. We all have the ability to listen to, trust, and follow our inner voice. Once again, my guides recommend meditation, prayer, journaling, and inspiration, the four pieces of the puzzle here, to create from the inside out. What Terence McKenna, Carla Ruckert, and Bashar all have in common is, they're all very aware and encouraging us to become more aware that we, are the co-creators of our reality. And when we consciously choose to believe that life is for us, that we're safe, loved, and supported, that everything works together for good, that we are enough, that there is enough, when we create these affirmations, these rampages of appreciation, as Abraham says, etc., you start to feel that, I'm sure as I'm saying it here, your heart opens up, you relax, you feel like you've come home to yourself, etc., etc. So, I did quite a lot of channeling over the weekend, and, the theme, what tends to happen here, I just want to say this, what tends to happen in physical reality and in the world is, we say that things are real because they're in our experience and they're a part of the collective agreement of reality. Yes, but, the great paradox is that is available to be changed. And again, we're living in this time when those changes are imminent. Yeah, that's a great word. So seize the day, find your voice, do what you love what you do. Give to others what you're wanting, to receive yourself, be generous, be kind, be inspired, be inspiring, be compassionate, be forgiving, all of those important things. And finally, I want to say this as well here, when I, in my life, or when I see other friends or clients, whatever, having real healings, and I get to see this almost every day, yeah, there's like a look that comes over, our faces, and there's this like realization, like, my God, what I've been thinking about this my whole life might not be true. And that's a great place, where we can, as Bashar was just saying, let go of our assumptions and, our conditioned thinking and conditioned response, and be available to be surprised. My guides say the more we love ourselves, the more we come into into intimacy, the more intimate with the truth we become in our own spirit, the greater the synchronicity, the greater the support, the greater the love and, grace that shows up in our lives. So, as Bashar was just saying here, when we transcend one level of reality and move into the next one, even if it's, only momentary, and I think that's part of why I'm showing you these very dramatic images here, they kind of get the mind, really thinking and really flowing and really, testing the limits there. So that's the excitement, yeah? Find and follow your excitement, yeah? I played this on Saturday. I want to play this again because it's such a brilliant video. It's called We Are From the Future. I want to play that in a minute, yeah? Will I do... I'll do Patricia Cota Robles again here real quickly. I'll play that video, and then I'll do the Bashar meditation, and then I think I'll finish up, yeah? La 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 la. Sorry, just going with the flow here. Let's see. Well, let me play this. I'll play this now. This is called We Are From the Future. I played it Saturday. It's brilliant.
We are from the future. Everything is going to be all right. The future is a beautiful place, but you'll need some training in order to inhabit it. In the future, technology evolves faster than any human mind can think. When the singularity occurred, we became like gods, able to create entire worlds in the blink of an eye. Every thought had drastic immediate impact. All of our dreams became a reality.
So did our nightmares. The future became a battle of ideas. We had to learn to direct our minds to prevent dark psychological forces from destroying all of us. Now, with every new world we create, we summon the sacred imperative for life. Let there be light. 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 How can we be from the future, you might ask? Let us explain. Plants harvest light with near perfect efficiency. But this is impossible under classical physics. Along the way to the photosynthesizing core, photons of light should collide with other particles. But they don't. A photon reaching the core is as likely to succeed as you sprinting blindfolded through a dense forest, reaching the center without striking a single tree. Plants are engaged in a kind of miracle. The plant puts the photon into a state of quantum superposition, multiplying it by every route that photon could possibly take. Imagine blindly sprinting through a forest, being multiplied into every one of the billions of possible paths. If any one of your possibilities were observed hitting a tree, the superposition would collapse, and that would be your final outcome. But the plant patiently refuses to observe any of these casualties, while at its heart it continues to sing, "Let there be light. Let 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 there be light." When any of the possibilities finally reaches the core without fail, only that winner is observed. All the other possibilities disappear. The winner is transmitted back through time, from the future, and becomes the only possibility that ever existed. This is how photons reach the plant's core with impossible precision. This is how you and every organism in existence overcame the massive improbabilities of life. This is how we are from the future. This is how you will become the light of the world as we invoke the sacred imperative together. Let there be light. 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 Let there be light.
Okay, that's another dose of ecstasy right there. Again, that'll be on my page. Apologies, not play the whole thing, but I want to keep things flowing here. So that's gorgeous. That's one of the best videos I think I've ever seen, and I'm not sure who does that. It sounds like the guy who did Esoteric Agenda and Kymodica, which is Ben Stewart. I'm pretty sure that's who made that. And the whole science of that, that intention and consciousness is able to transcend the illusions of time and space, etc. Yeah, that's fantastic. And again, that's what we're, why the heart knows what the mind struggles to believe is that. The heart knows what the mind struggles to believe. The heart is that pathway of higher self, soul and spirit of consciousness that isn't limited by time or space or by the body or the mind. It works within those frameworks, but it's not of that reality. It's transcendent. Love, to want to come back to love here, love is the ability to transcend time and space. to transcend the illusions of separation. And as the Course in Miracles says, love is our true nature, and all we need to do is to let go of the inhibitions, the impedances, that we all have in the mind, and our consciousness that that love is somehow outside of us. And so every time we experience something like this, these videos, and this great music and these wonderful ideas, our heart opens up, because that's the truth of who we are. So I like what Carla Ruckert said, that the mind is a biocomputer. That's the way my guides put it too. The mind is not really a source of thought. It's the lens. It's the pointer on the compass. The heart is our true north, and the heart tells us what's meaningful and why things are important. And this is the dance of intuition. So often, our inner guidance, our inspiration, our heart will ask us to do something, or ask us to be aware of something that the mind doesn't understand, and that is what faith is, isn't it? That we follow our heart. So again, the more consciously, the more deeply, the more often we're willing to go within, to listen deeply, to open the heart, to be grateful, to be centered, to be devoted, these kinds of spiritual energies, the more our vibration is going to lift up. And I started to say this earlier. So, the world is going to kind of be sorted into two groups of human beings, is the feeling here, people that are open to inspiration and love and light and the reality of our spiritual nature, and people that doubt that, people that deny that, people that think that that's nonsense, and where's the science in that, and where's the hierarchy in that? All right. So anyway, what I was just got that off my chest. Thank you. What I was just wanting to get to here is come down the home stretch to do Patricia's divine government here. What government is, of course, it's the social agreement about the use of our values, about our resources, about our finances, about our the way we run our lives socially, etc., etc. So it's really like, even though it's such a dim, coming up from the past, it's the least enlightened part of human consciousness. There, I've said it now. That's where these changes are most deeply needed. And so again here, when you feel truth in yourself and you're able to be discerning of what is true, or when the media or a politician or whatever, someone is telling you something that is not true, you're empowered from being able to see clearly through the darkness, to see the light through the darkness. We're empowered then to bring our light out into this world, so that people can understand that there's a choice to be made. And it certainly hasn't happened yet in the States. It's a very dark time there in many ways, but that's what brings the light to the surface, isn't it? Yeah, these challenging moments. So here again is Patricia, and I'll just get through this. This is a critical moment in the evolution of humanity and the ascension process we are all experiencing. There is a divine plan unfolding that may not be obvious to our finite minds, but that humanity's I Am presences and the legions of light in the realms of illumined truth are well aware of and are orchestrating in divine order. As you know, the U.S. is in the midst of a most polarized election we have ever experienced. My teacher Lazara said this is the most important election of our lifetime. It seems that, if indeed it is an election, I say again, it seems as though the political parties are diametrically opposed. Okay, whether we like it or not, what happens in the U.S. affects the entire world, positively or negatively. So this is my invitation as an American living in Ireland, to contribute in some way, to help things to get better. All right, so that's just the very brief introduction. I'll put that on my page again. Invoking divine government, the DNA codes that are being activated within every person's heart flame at this time by his or her I Am presence contain not only the unfolding divine plan to reestablish divine government in the U.S. and the rest of the world, they contain viable solutions for the distorted and corrupt patterns of government that are surfacing to be healed and transmuted into light. As you affirm these words, either in silence, in the silence of your heart or out loud, know that you're joining in consciousness with thousands of light workers all over the world. Okay, so let me just get to that. So if you want to participate, and I hope you do, go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath. After I do this, I'll do a closing channeling. Thanks so much for being here. Lightheart2012@gmail.com for PayPal donations. The link is on the page. LouMartin.eu for the invitation ebook and to book a session. And thank you again. And a Skype call tomorrow night for anyone who wants to dialogue with me and my guides, 9 p.m. Ireland time. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. The call for divine government. I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of all humanity. As one breath, one voice, one heartbeat, and one energy, vibration and consciousness of pure divine love, I invoke my Father, Mother, God, and the great beings of light associated with co-creating divine government on this blessed planet. I also invoke the mighty archangels and the ascended masters guarding the evolutions of earth. Blessed ones, blaze the most intensified frequencies of divine will, divine love, and divine wisdom from the very heart of our Father, Mother, God, in, through, and around every person involved with the governments of earth in any way. I ask that you exponentially expand this divine light within the heart flame of every man and woman running for office in the U.S., at national, state, or local levels, and throughout the world. Now, beloved legions of light, blaze these intensified frequencies of divine will, divine love, and divine wisdom in, through, and around every single registered voter in the U.S. and throughout the world. Awaken the entire electorate to the profound opportunity at hand, and enlighten every person to the profound truth that it is time for divine government to manifest now. Let each person tangibly feel and experience the power, love, and wisdom of our Father, Mother, God, flowing through their heart flame as they vote for each candidate and all of the issues before them. I now invoke the I Am presence of every person who will be elected during this presidential election, and all of those who are presently serving at national, state, or local levels, to take full dominion of that person's thoughts, feelings, words, actions, beliefs, and memories. Help that person to hear and to listen to the still small voice within that will guide him or her unerringly toward the fulfillment of the unfolding divine plan for this sweet earth. Now, beloved ones, seal the activity of light. I have invoked this sacred and holy day in the immortal, victorious, threefold flame, anchored within my heart and the heart of every person on earth. Expand this activity of light daily and hourly, 1,000 times 1,000-fold, until planet Earth and all life evolving upon her have God victoriously completed our ascension into the fifth dimensional frequencies of the new earth. Now, through all realms of consciousness, I decree, victory is ours in love governing this planet. Victory is ours in love governing this planet. Victory is ours in love governing this planet. And so it is. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Thank you. So, I'll do a closing meditation here. Do I want that? Sorry. I want this. There we go. Okay. Dear friends, here we come, quick and easy, yeah, stepping into the moment. Your conscious mind, dear friends, yeah? Your conscious mind is the doorway for dreams and visions and ideas and inspirations, for hope and potential, and for the promise of a new earth and a new humanity. Take a deep breath. I open my conscious mind to the higher mind, and I align my conscious mind to the higher mind as one. I invite the imagination, the memory, the intellect, the understanding, the wisdom, the dreams, and the oneness of these minds as one mind to work through me and with me to co-create new possibilities, new understandings, new relationships, new realities, new worlds. Take a deep breath. I call forth the light of all that is to surround and support me and to work in, through, and as my very being, my heart, my soul, my spirit. And I invite the divine masculine, the will and the mind, the divine feminine, the heart and the spirit, to come into my conscious mind and into my conscious experience in new and wondrous ways, unfolding, manifesting, revealing, demonstrating, pouring forth blessings, intelligence, humor, compassion, beauty, creativity, peace, and love in new and unimagined ways for myself, for my loved ones, and for this sweet earth. Take a deep breath. And I invite every consciousness, human or otherwise, that is a part of the evolving, unfolding, and awakening earth in all areas of this universe and upon this sweet earth, to come together as one mind, one heart, one purpose, one love, to bless and to be blessed, to give and to receive, to know and to discover what love can dream as humanity, as Gaia Mother Earth, as my life, now and unto forevermore. I open the door of my future, of my world, of my mind with the one mind, and set my spirit free. Take a deep breath. And I set the spirit free of all who would be free. And I invite all who would be free to know true freedom, true oneness, true love. Dear friends, peace, peace, peace for you, your beautiful earth, for humanity, and for all that is. Peace and blessings. Namaste. Thank you. Peace and blessings. Talk to you soon.